Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be doing some TinyWhoop myth busting. Going over the screen now is my current build and all the specs. This idea came upon whenever I was looking through my spare parts bin and saw an old FR Sky AIO, some 19,000 kV motors. Since a lot of people say high kV, ELRS, all the new and greatest things are the only way to go and there's no other way, I thought I'd give it a shot at all the old tech and see how it flies in 2024. So let's roll that intro. So as you can see from that flight footage, even with these low kV motors, it held up quite well to my normal flying. Now for the other side of the argument, the FR Sky board in this, I tried to keep the antenna pointed to the sky for the maximum range and give it the best shot it possibly could. It was completely awful. FR Sky I don't think should be revisited. If you have ELRS, FR Sky failsafed 50 foot in front of me because there was a tree in front of me. FR Sky, it has no penetration whatsoever compared to ELRS. Sadly, to even run FR Sky, I had to throw a $60 investment in this nano module for my Zorro, which I guess I can continue to use the whoops that I have, and also I can do some plane stuff, but it was pretty expensive. Another thing to add to the outdated list was originally this board had a PH 2.0 plug, as shown here. All of my batteries are BT 2.0 now, so I had to use a BT 2.0, but I can tell you from experience, PH 2.0 should be left in the past. It has major sag issues and cannot pull enough amps through the plug. Since I used the HD0 VTX bundle, I decided to save some weight and cut corners. I ended up getting this build down to 25.7 grams, which is quite light for a HD0 build on a 75mm frame, but it's also quite heavy for an analog build on a 75mm frame. But to my surprise, as you saw, it flew very light and I was getting very great flight time. Most of the flights being over 4 minutes, some even closer to 5. I'm guessing this is due to the 19,000 kV motors not pulling as much power. As I previously mentioned, I did cut a lot of corners, like leaving this rear screw out just to save weight. This 3D printed canopy is super duper lightweight, coming in at like 0.5 grams for the HD0 cam. I also have this super duper small antenna, which is not great at range, but it's really light. And finally, I use some Rennie screws, which is probably not recommended for this heavy of a build, but they did hold up. And to wrap things up, overall, it was an amazing build. The 19,000 kV motors, even though most people would frown upon them and say that they won't even fly correctly, they worked phenomenal for me. They also provided stellar flight times because of the low amps that they pull, I assume. It could also be because of these hex bells. I know that they're pretty lightweight compared to the squared off ones, but a lot of the newer style are using the hex bells. The HD0 obviously looked fantastic. Now for the FR Sky, I do think that was pretty awful. I would 100% say that ELRS is the way to go for whoops if you don't want to fail safe literally 50 foot ahead of you because a tree or anything is in your way. If a person happens to walk in front of you, I had fail safes. Thanks for sticking around and doing some whoop myth busting with me. Make sure you guys fly pack every day and keep it 90%.